our first major of the year. 4 finalists bidding for $100,000. Now all 4 are ready to roll.
The reigning PBA Player of the Year is looking for his second career major championship. From Simpsonville, South Carolina, Tommy Jones.
The reigning Player of the Year says he's back to prove that the last 2 years, when he won a total of 8 titles, was no fluke. This young gunslinger looks to win his second career major today.
A former USBC Masters champion, today he goes for his second career PBA major title. From Newark, New York, Doug Kent.
Last year, Doug Kent proved that he is still fresh with a tour title in Buffalo. He is one of the game's most versatile bowlers. From any angle, anywhere, anytime, he can get it done. Yes! Yes!
This Canadian national team member currently bowls at collegiate powerhouse Wichita State and is looking to become the first amateur since 2002 to win the USBC Masters. From Hamilton, Ontario, George Lambert IV.
This young Canadian looks to make history for his country. No one from north of the border has ever won a PBA event. Will he make the Maple Leaf proud? Oh, Canada!
This 20-year tour veteran is looking for his first career major and his first title since 1995. From Lackawanna, New York, Jack Jurek.
Jack Jurek has never bowled for this much money in his life. He has clinched the $50,000 payday. Now as the #1 seed, all he needs is one win to change his life forever. A $100,000 payday awaits him in the finals.
These are your finalists competing for the title in the 2006 USBC Masters.
This is the 57th Masters. The first was contested way back in 1951 in Minneapolis. This year, our defending champion Mike Scroggins was knocked out in the 3rd round. We declare a new champion today in Milwaukee. Nearly 500 bowlers competed for the big money this week. More than half were amateurs. After 2 rounds of qualifying, the top 64 went at it in match play. 3-game total pinfall. We have 4 bowlers left, all set after position round play. And here are the positions. Tommy Jones, the defending Player of the Year, takes on 7-time titleist Doug Kent. Who is George Lambert IV? We'll tell you his amazing story in a moment. Jack Jurek is the top seed. Hello, bowling fans, and welcome to Milwaukee. Glad you could join us today. Dave Ryan alongside 23-time titleist Norm Buke and Randy Peterson again in the booth with us. We're pleased to announce Norm will be with us all year in the booth when he's not making TV shows, which we hope you do.
We hope you do.
Glad to have you with us. Randy, let's start with you. What a beginning to our season. First, a major record is broken, and we begin our live TV coverage with a major.
Well, let me start by first saying, Dave, pleasure to be back working with you again. And Norm, my good friend and neighbor from Claremont, Florida, welcome to the booth, pal. And you're right, Dave, a lot going on early in this season. We have to start with Walter Ray Williams Jr., who finally catches Earl's record. He wins his 42nd title in Japan. How about Tommy Jones, back on television again? Can Tommy Jones continue to dominate on this tour? And last but certainly not least, USBC Masters. What does it mean to me? 2 things. You said the size of the field. 498 players started. And second, big money, $100,000 for first.
Norm, let's talk about Tommy Jones, reigning Player of the Year. When the bright lights come on, this guy is incredible. What makes him so good on TV?
Well, Dave, you said in the history of the PBA, no one has a higher win percentage than Tommy Jones. Not Earl Anthony, not Mark Roth, not Marshall Holman, but Tommy Jones. As we watch a shot that will help win him the 05 United States Open, Tommy has figured it out mentally. Not only has he figured out how to think like a champion, but he has found a way to play every oral pattern to threat level. A dangerous combination.
And that was Tommy's first career major. He goes for #2 today here in Milwaukee. Randy, let's talk about George Lambert IV. Who? Well, he's a Canadian with an amazing story. By all rights, shouldn't even be here, right?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, George you know, he's got some bowling background. He is the two-time and defending Canadian national champion. He showed up to this event with some of his teammates from Wichita State University, some shockers. Well, his buddies decided they were going to go bowl a collegiate tournament somewhere near St. Louis. Well, George didn't get the memo. He got left behind. George said, you know what? I think maybe I'll stick around Milwaukee for a while and try to win me a Masters title.
Not a bad idea. So as an amateur, he goes for the $100,000 first place prize along with the other 3 bowlers here today. That is what's on the line, plus a 2-season exemption for 3 of the bowlers. Because George Lambert IV does bowl at Wichita State, he is an amateur. He cannot gain the 2-year exemption by winning the tournament here today. Just incredible drama to begin our live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour season here this afternoon in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, before a packed house at the Expo Center. We are a few minutes away from downtown Milwaukee, and our first match is about set to go.
Tommy Jones, it's a lot of fun to watch, a very personable guy. He's one of my favorites. He's got a great personality. He's got kind of a magnetism, so to speak. You know, everybody kind of gravitates towards this guy. He's a lot of fun to be around. He's kind of got that easygoing type of attitude. Just a lot of fun. I really like Tommy Jones.
Last year's Player of the Year gets us started with a 10-pin.
Wow, what a great shot to open the match with the ring in 10. I think he thought he was lined up on that first shot. To leave a ring in 10, I think it's a surprise.
He's not the crowd favorite at all.
Tommy coming to us from Simpsonville, South Carolina. You see his match play record and the 4th seed of 4 bowlers on this show. Greenville Spartanburg has his 10-pin. And he's regretting a loss last night for South Carolina with Steve Spurrier. He's a big Gamecock fan. This guy is a huge Buffalo Bills fan from Newark, New York, in the Rochester, Buffalo area, upstate. Doug Kent. 17th year on tour. Has been a member of the PBA since 1988. Does have 1 major championship under his belt. Little off his ball. Great start, Doug Kent.
Well, you know, you don't expect anything different from this guy, Dougie Fresh. You take a look at the averages. Dougie Kent actually out-averaged Tommy Jones this week by 5 pins. You see the high games? Pretty close there, but Norm, who do you like in this match and why?
Well, I like whoever starts out lined up because they might get a lead, and right now Doug Kent looks to be lined up, even though he played all over the lanes in practice. We were a little unsure where he was going to start out. Was it out? Was it in? It's in, and he's lined up, it looks like.
Look out nearly on the 7-10, has the 10 to deal with only. We just saw the Ace Hardware matchup a moment ago, and the players have had a lot of time to practice before our live coverage today.
You see him feed the ball out into that track area. That track area is like anywhere between the 8th and 12th forward, right around 2nd arrow. And that's what the players did for most of the week this week, Norm, and we'll get into oil pattern a little bit later. But Doug Kent, another one of those great personality guys that you just love to be around. Him and Tommy Jones actually are pretty good friends. And
well, they should be. They're both very fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, no sweat. No sweat. He said I had to buy that much.
No problem, right? He and his wife, Chrissy, are owners and proprietors of 2 bowling centers in upstate New York. And he has been a busy businessman in addition to his bowling career. Look at the numbers Norm talked about top of the broadcast with Tommy Jones on TV. Incredible.
It's hard to beat in any sport, Norm.
24-6. Is that a misprint?
No.
Has all 10 down, and we spoke with Tommy about his success, and he is as low-key and humble as they come. It's so impressive to meet with him because he doesn't get caught up in any hype. But Norm, as you pointed out, he's able to master all of the oil patterns. That's why the big success.
Well, no question, not to mention the fact that he can think his way around a bowling center like no other now. When he first came out, he had the big ball, he had all of that physical attributes, but he just didn't think his way around the bowling center. Now he thinks like a champion, and I'm impressed with him.
4 titles each of the last 2 years. He's been great in arena finals also. There's 10 down again for Tommy Jones. Gets the crowd going a bit.
Yeah, that was juicy right off his hand, just pure as the driven snow.
Yeah, he could have knocked 20 down with that shot. You see him, he's getting into it now. He's about ready to put boots to him. He says, come on, Doug, it's game on.
Yeah, let's go! Now!
Now he's getting pumped. Doug Kent has an answer.
And Dave Ryan, Doug Kent made a big change in his game. Doug was always a real slow, methodical approach, five-step approach. Doug worked really, really hard for a couple of months trying to get the ball into the swing sooner. So on this shot here, I want you to watch how much sooner Doug is getting the ball into the floor, into the swing. And what that does is it makes his feet go faster. It says it keeps him from grabbing the ball at the bottom of the swing, Norm.
Right, and gives him a smoother lrelease onto the floor of the lane.
Much quicker that is.
Tries to get into that 1-3 pocket, and he leaves the 4-pin. We saw his match play record a moment ago. He defeated Tommy Jones to earn the 3rd seed on this show. 3-game total pinfall, 755, 637.
Just beautiful balance. Fallon's one of Doug's trademarks. That plus he's able to play all angles. But I just love Dougie's balance when he gets to the Fallon. Nothing moves. Real steady head, great knee bend, and just solid.
So he can always see what he's looking at?
Absolutely.
Like that single pin, spare conversion. Doug also got by Pete Weber in match play. It's a very different format. Randy talked about all the bowlers here, nearly 500 of them, many of whom are amateurs. And one, George Lambert IV, made our show today. Look at the history. Going way back to 1980. Can one of these two, on the lower 2 seeds, change the trend?
Oh, we got a balk.
Wow. You rarely see Tommy do that, so something must have distracted him. But if I would have tried that, I would have been in traction for about the next 3 or 4 weeks.
It's not an easy motion to stop, is it, with a 15-pound bowling ball in your hand?
No, and I'll tell you, every time that I balk like this, I'd like to set the ball down and then start my routine over. Tommy not doing so. Let's see how it works out for him.
We saw as George Lambert IV, he's waiting. Jack Jurek is the top seed. He's watching as well. Touch high to 4-pin.
Somebody moved over there. Somebody made a noise.
Yeah, typical of the arena formats, you have so many people down lane. Often you'll get movement. Tommy's going to have to settle in and play no matter what.
Yeah, a lot of movement, a lot of sound, a lot of noise, and you just have to expect it coming in and just try to somehow focus on the job at hand. Tough to do, but it can be done. Both of our guys have won in arenas. Both of our guys major championship winners, Dave. Norm?
Hey, is that the same guy in the 03 Tournament of Champions who got you?
Unfortunately for Randy, yes it was. There's Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Guy's following me around.
I thought it was 04.
Much more about his 42nd career win, which came this season at the Japan Cup. He has the all-time tour title record, the home run record of bowling. He's wide. It's off the mark, gets the break though. Money! Money!
You know, that's what physical ability will get you. An Aaron Scheid comes back with a strike instead of a split. Most of us would be shooting the splits at that time.
That's when you know you've got your mojo, baby, and he's got it. Tommy Jones has got that winning mojo.
I'll say 24-6 winning mojo.
7-1 all time in arena shows as well for Tommy Jones. Tommy's made 4 of the last 6 arena shows. Doug Kent has also performed well under the bright lights. This is a big setting here. Expo Center in Milwaukee. A great crowd on hand. They're waiting since early this morning to get a good seat. Touch high, 9-pin stands.
Early on, it looks like the right lane's a little bit drier and the left lane's a little bit slicker. Doug Kent comes in a little high on this shot here, and both shots on the left lane have been light.
Wide on both shots, yeah. And so has Tommy Jones. Wide on the left lane, so
Yeah, but I think that was more due to the fact that he just missed right.
Well, he did miss right that shot, but
Dougie looks like he's making pretty good shots. He's just not facing the right way.
So the single pin numbers.
he'll certainly take 9 spare in that frame and get on with it, though.
You'll notice the Motel 6 logo on the head pin. That's because it's the Motel 6 6th frame. Once again this season, Motel 6, the official lodging partner of the PBA, offering $600 to any bowler who throws 6 straight strikes. Start a match on TV. The bowler who does it the most times during our season on TV will be awarded $6,000. Good incentive for guys like Doug Kent.
There you go.
Each bowler gets a bit of a break. And we've got a great match here. Live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour underway in the 06-07 season. A packed house in Milwaukee watching the USBC Masters and Doug Kent, Tommy Jones head-to-head in the step ladder format. All trying to get to the top seed, Jack Jurek, and win $100,000. Don't go away. Much more to come. A shot there, the Milwaukee Art Museum featuring the Quadracci Pavilion, the first ever Santiago Calatrava design building in the United States. How about that?
What was that?
I'll explain it later. Tommy Jones, a 10-pin lead. Fifth frame, working on a strike for him. Let's go down now to Randy and Norm talking about the difficulty of playing oil patterns.
Norm, let's talk about the strategy that our 4 finalists are going to use on this USBC oil pattern. Now, I'll tell you what I saw this week. I saw guys playing the track, man. Second arrow, right around that second arrow. And tournament leader, Jack Jurek, he likes to go straight, and boy, did he ever right up that track. Not the case, though, for Tommy Jones.
No, Tommy Jones also using the track, Randy, but he was using it way far down the lane. Tommy Jones puts a lot of spin on that ball, and he can get it to recover all the way using the track way down the lane. Not so for Jack Jurek.
So big hand versus a guy that goes straight, they use the same break point. Now, what about George Lambert IV, newcomer to television? What do we look for?
Well, he's played most of the week from the inside part, occasionally migrating inside towards Tommy Jones, but I think he was most comfortable second, third arrow, so I think that's probably where he's going to be today.
And let's not forget Doug Kent. Dougie Fresh can play anywhere on the lanes. Let's not kid ourselves. I've seen him pipe it straight from out. I've seen him get inside and hook the entire lane. Where do you see Doug playing today?
One of those two, Randy. It just depends on how long that it takes for it to burn up on the inside part. There's a lot of practice today before the shots, and look for Doug Kent to move out if it burns up too much.
So if the pattern doesn't hold up, look for the guys to be making a lot of different moves. Some guys could even be moving outside and attacking the lanes from a completely different angle.
All right, guys, plenty to look for here. Norm, your fans want you on TV on the big stage out there in the lanes. We're glad to have you in the booth, though.
Well, I'm glad to be here, but I'd much rather be down there. Something about that comfort zone.
Leading by 10 pins, as we said, Tommy Jones works on a strike. Finds the pocket. We see the strike from Tommy Jones, and the PBA and the USBC have combined forces to allow league bowlers to experience the same lane conditions as the pros, called the PBA experience. So imagine bowling fans out there, you can't line up against Peyton Manning, you can't try to hit a Roger Clemens fastball, but with the PBA experience, now you can try to bowl those legitimate PBA Tour lane conditions.
Yeah, if you're looking for a little help with that, in US Bowler Magazine, I'm featured on the cover and explain how I think you should play each of those PBA patterns.
I think it's an incredible experience. You can now kind of get a feel for what it's like for our guys on a weekly basis to bowl on patterns that you just don't see.
7th frame, Jones has another. And folks, those are certified sport bowling leagues starting January 1st, 2007. Offering a new line of awards that reflect significance of shooting high scores on these challenging conditions. Be sure to log on to pba.com or bowl.com for more.
And Jones just took a 30-pin lead on the match.
With his turkey. Speaking of challenges now, Doug Kent in a hole. Works on a strike, 7th frame. Has a big one. His last title for Doug came in February in Buffalo. Defeated Parker Bone III and Norm Duke. Sorry, Norm. 221, 201 in the finals. And Doug has 75 record in title matches. He has won big events. 7 different seasons. He's won 1 tour title. It's spread out a long time. And plenty of success for Doug. Needs the turkey. In frame. Has it. Late hit on number 7. Down she goes.
Scaring those light hits now in that left lane, Norm.
No.
And now that's...
Ain't even, brother.
Oh, all right, a little gamesmanship going on. I told you they were good friends. A little slap on the rear end for Tommy Jones, and Doug Kent gets the ball in that little swish zone, blows 5-pin over there a little bit into the 7, and Dougie Kent now can strike out for 249, but Tommy Jones still in the driver's seat. His max score 269.
Right, this is the match for Tommy, these next 2 shots.
8th frame, guys. Goes for the 4-bagger. That's for a 20-pin lead.
Oh, he likes it.
He should. Norm punching all 10 down into the pit.
Excuse me, Dave. Norm, this has got to play into Tommy Jones's favor. You're talking about playing in and getting the ball to return to the right when you throw it right. Well, Tommy Jones is the guy with all the hand and all the power, right?
Hey, they're both playing the lanes the same, but Tommy just has more on his shot. Now, that doesn't mean Doug Kent is at a disadvantage, because he's going to get the 5 into the 7 also. But it just plays more into Tommy's comfort zone.
But doesn't Tommy create a little bit more area, having more hand and more revolutions?
You sure would think so. When I get that many revolutions, I'll tell you.
No easy matter. That's good. Let's go. Absolutely locked in. TJ all the way.
Well, Doug Kent now, he needs to step up here in the 9th and 10th and strike out to have a chance, because with this hit right here, Tommy Jones is in the 230s. And he knows this is a big shot. If he doesn't strike on that shot, Doug Kent could get up, strike out 9th and 10th and lock it.
And win it.
Now it doesn't matter what Doug does. He can't shut out Tommy Jones.
No, but he can make Tommy Jones strike in the 10th frame.
Yes, he can.
To win the match.
Goes for a 4-bagger, 9th frame, guys. Again, some late help there for Doug Kent. Has 4 in a row.
Dance with the one who brung you. That light shaker, 5 into the 7.
Dance with the one that brung you.
I wouldn't move.
All right, now here's the thing. Dougie, light, he's carrying that light hit. Let's say he strikes out, right? Tommy Jones' last shot on that right lane, that was pretty high flush. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Doug does have a major championship, 2002 PBA Worlds in Toledo. He's been in a big moment before. With big shots like that.
High flush. That was just magnificent. Right out of his hand. That was 10 back. What do you think, Norm?
Well, you know, I think all of this was immaterial until this 11th shot. Now he needs this one to force Tommy to strike. I mean, at this point, Tommy has to mark. But for Tommy Jones just to need a mark, that's not enough, I don't think.
You gotta have it right here.
Comes through when he has to, Norm. You heard him when he got up on the approach. He said, this is the one, this is the one. And then he just said, this was butter.
Oh, gosh, that was so good. But he still needs this strike to force Tommy to strike on the first ball. Otherwise, a tie is possible.
His wife, Chrissy, here from upstate New York. Together they run 2 bowling centers. Those bowl lanes, lakeside lanes. TVs are on there. A little high and a 4-pin to finish it out for Doug Kent. Shoots 248. And now Tommy Jones needs a strike and 5 to wrap it up and advance to the next step on the step ladder. Canadian amateur George Lambert IV awaits the winner. Whoever wins that one takes on our top seed Jack Jurek for the $100,000 first place prize. Here's a money shot.
Missed way right.
A split.
Done. Wow. Threw it bad, Norm. You got it way right.
And that's sometimes what happens when somebody pressures you and forces you to come up with a good shot in the 10.
He needs to make this in a strike, and we'll have a tie.
Unbelievable. Almost had the 2-10 guys. Instead, the 10 tripped out late. Huge break. Has the 2.
If Doug Kent strikes on his fill shot, he wins. Now Tommy Jones needs all 10. Anything less, Doug Kent goes on.
That was a huge break on the 10 pin there. Tommy, it's over for him if he doesn't get the love tap on the 10.
What a start to our season, guys. Already Walter Ray set the record. Show 2. How about this? Tommy Jones and Doug Kent in a battle. Has to strike the tie. Come on. Doug Kent came through. Tommy Jones.
Good shot.
You bet.
Man, he looked like there was nothing to throw that shot. It looked like it was harder for him to throw the last shot than that one.
Well, it was because he missed so poorly the one before. It's like he got a second chance at it. You know, how many times you made the second putt, Randy?
Now, guys, what is more exciting in bowling than a sudden death roll-off? One ball roll-off here to see who takes this match.
What's more exciting?
Ladies and gentlemen, by USBC rules, all ties on our telecast must be broken by a one-ball sudden death roll-off. The higher seed will get choice of starting lane and order. Mr. Doug Kent. Mr. Kent has elected to start on the left lane. Keep in mind, if they both tie on the left lane, they will move to the right lane and continue the process in the same order, alternating lanes until the tie is broken.
Tournament Director Kurt Von Kruger, here are the roll-off rules, folks. Buckle up and get ready. We saw the higher seed. Doug Kent made the choice of the left lane. One shot, plain and simple. Higher pinfall takes it and advances to the next round.
I want to answer your question. What's more exciting than a roll-off? Watching somebody bowl 300 on TV. That's my opinion.
Norm Duke's done it.
I like them both.
3-0. Perfect in his career. Off the mark. 2-pin. So a strike will win it here for Jones. If he has 9 pins, we go to another roll-off. Wow. Also an excellent record, career roll-offs. Kent wins the match.
Off his hand, Randy, I liked it. I thought he had plenty on that shot to get back.
Oh, never hooked.
Never hooked.
Either he missed it just a hair at the bottom or he just threw it way too hard.
In thrilling, emotional, dramatic fashion, Doug Kent has advanced to the next round. We'll take on George Lambert IV, the Canadian amateur. What a finish to our first match. Live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour. Doug Kent advances. What an unbelievable start to our live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour this 06-07 season. Doug Kent, a 248-248 tie with Tommy Jones, reigning player of the year. Then a 9-6 win in the sudden death roll-off. Doug Kent advances to take on George Lambert IV, the Canadian amateur champion, in the next round. Dave, Randy, and Norm all with you here from Milwaukee, witnessing an incredible start. Don't forget, next week, Norm Duke returns to Taylor Lane to defend his title. Good luck, Norm.
Thank you.
As the PBA visits this bowling center for a 7th consecutive year, 20th time overall, suburban Detroit. Log on to PBA.com for information about the Pro-Ams November 1st and on the 4th. And then on the road with the Atonic Championship, AMF Thruway Lanes, Cheektowaga, New York, near Buffalo. Plays host to the pros for the 2nd straight year. Guess who's the defending champ of that event? Doug Kent, who just won here today, including Tom Baker, Jack Jurek, Brad Angelo, Joe Ciccone, Liz Johnson as well will try to get a win there. Well, the Tour Trials very exciting this past June. Players battling for their careers. The place, Hammond, Indiana. The event, the PBA Tour Trials last June. On the line, 10 exemptions for the 06-07 season. The format was grueling. 45 games in 5 days on all 5 of the Tour's oil patterns. The top 10 made the exempt list. Bowlers like Del Ballard Jr. trying to earn back his exempt status. A longtime PBA bowler and a longtime champion. And history made with Kelly Kulick becoming the first woman ever to earn her exemption.
I still kind of can't believe I did it. I mean, my goal here was to make tour, and I'm very excited about next year. Broke a lot of barriers, a lot of history being made. So I knew I had the right ball in my hand, knew where to play, could really keep my eyes focused on what I needed to do, and 12 in a row, 300, first PBA 300 ever. The emotions didn't really set. I mean, when I shot 300, I was nervous. I the front 10 twice already, shot 289 both times. But that last game, I knew. Again, I didn't look at the board after game 4. I was far away from it. That last game, I'm like, okay, I have to still shoot a decent score. I don't know where I am, but I see the guys around me, what their numbers are. Let me bowl good, make good shots, pick up my spares, and just stay clean, and that's what I did.
Today was so hard. All of a sudden I looked up and I'm out of the number and just didn't feel like I bowled that poorly. And I was panicking. And I mean, I had so many bad things going through my head, I can't even say them. I knew I needed to, I mean, I had heard Billy Oatman shot 180 and what his number was. And so I knew I needed 186 or better. And I was on 189 pace at that time. So I knew if I stayed clean and could strike spare, I'd be in by 3. But I told myself, I don't want to have to shoot a spare to make this thing. It feels good to be able to have my wife behind me cheering me on instead of me having to cheer her on all the time.
And it was my job this week to help him get his career back. And that's all I want for him, to have another chance.
It just really feels great to have my life back.
Just an incredible moment for Del Ballard Jr. For the Tour Trials, Hammond, Indiana, these the players who advanced on to get their exemption for the entire 06-07 season. Billy Oatman actually finished out of the number, but because Richie Allen suffered a stress fracture in his bowling hand, he's given up his exempt status for this year. So Billy Oatman moves into the top 10, and he's exempt for this entire season. Congratulations to all who have made the tour this year, including Kelly Kulick, making special history as the first woman ever to earn exempt status. When we return to Milwaukee, there is George Lambert IV. He's a star at Wichita State University. He's going to go head-to-head with Doug Kent for a chance at the final match. It's all next, live on ESPN. Special thanks and hello to Roger Dalkin, the CEO of the USBC. In charge of this great event, USBC Masters. Log on to PBA.com for breaking news about an exciting new high school bowling event. Earlier today, Denny's, the PBA, and the USBC jointly announced the creation of the Denny's All-American High School Championship, set to debut this March. The event, which will crown the nation's top high school male and female bowlers, will take place March 24th and 25th in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and will air on ESPN April 22nd. For more, log on to PBA.com. So we're set. Match 2. George Lambert IV from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. has never been on live television, Norm, until right now. He faces Doug Kent coming up, an incredible match with Tommy Jones.
Yeah, Doug's obviously got the momentum going, but you just never know about somebody that's the first time on television.
A roll off for Kent, getting by Jones. Match 2 for Doug. With a break on a high shot. And he's got the 6'10" ready.
And to me, it looked like the lanes started to kind of go towards the end of that last match. You saw the guys kind of go light in the roll-off. I watched them in practice. George Lambert looked like he had a tough time getting to the pocket. Same for Doug.
Same for Doug, and Doug also went left and played a couple of practice shots on lane 1 and 2. Both probably slicker than championship pair. That might give him a false sense of security, having his ball hold on the practice lanes, but not on the real ones.
It just seemed like if they got a little too far to the right, ball's going to hang now.
Certainly.
Well, why is that? What happens? Is oil moving down the lane, Norm?
Oil is carrying down and carrying out. Every ball that they throw out toward that track area carries down and out and retards the ball's hook.
Here he is, folks. George Lambert IV. His parents, George III and Trudy Lambert, making the 11-hour drive from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Watch this moment. Way high, 3 left for George.
And like all of my Canadian friends in Toronto, George is no different. Great personality, great sense of humor, and that's what I think I love the most about the people from Canada.
But what about his hair?
Got great hair, too,
Love the
buddy.
hair.
Great hair. Hey, don't hate, Norm. Don't hate.
Love it.
As a sophomore at Wichita State, as Randy said, he should be in a St. Louis area collegiate tournament right now with teammates. Picks up the spare nicely. 3-6-10. Instead, he's here in Milwaukee on live national television as the 3rd seed beating the 2nd seed, bidding for $100,000. The Ace Hardware matchup, Norm. Break it down for us.
Well, Norm, let me. Watch this. See all those TV final appearances? Only one for young Lambert. Norm, the bottom line is you were the youngest player ever to win a PBA title. You won your first time ever on television. What does George have to do to get this thing done today?
Well, he has to get by frame 1, and that's done. 7 spare. Neither of the shots as good as what he wanted. Now, I think he can loosen up and just make the shots neat. Yeah! And that's one of them. Yeah!
Played a little bit further right, too. So he knows something the other boys don't know. Remember, we talked about in the old pattern, if the middle part of the lane starts to get a little funky, make that big move right. Well, he's further right than Doug is.
Hey, we know nothing he doesn't know.
So Doug Kent, who's won 7 titles in his great career, was outstanding in that first match. Pressure, shots. Now takes on an unknown. An amateur. 7-pin for Kent.
That's a pretty good shot. He did hook a little early. He tried to go high, but kept in a flush zone, leaving a solid 7. Bad break, nonetheless.
Looks like he's moved deeper, Nor. He's got and created more angle. You see that little dark strip down there? That's the 2nd arrow. That's the 10th board.
He has, just inside of that now.
We talk about it a lot. It's that, when you have those rangefinders down the lane, watching the guys, get that ball in that same break point area, and when the lanes start to break down up front, they move in to try to find more head oil. Their angle increases to the right, but they're still picking up the same spot down the lane.
Yeah, and that spot might move incrementally, a board here, a board there, but not like the early target, which moves dramatically left.
Doug has 2 arena titles, plenty of experience in this sort of setting, so as the guys pointed out, knows which moves to make. There's a good one. He liked it all the way. Late trip on the 10 for Doug Kent, coming off a very good season. 4 top 10s, the title in Buffalo over on Norm Duke in the final.
How dare him?
How dare him? What was he thinking?
Remember, guys, we see George's information. That Doug was actually considering last year maybe being his last year on tour because he had the 2 bowling centers he's managing with his wife, Chrissy. But he wins, gets his exempt status back, and now he's on the verge of a major championship.
Said he loves the competition. He hates being away from home.
It's tough.
And I second that motion.
Me, 3.
Lambert has a 9-pin.
That's a better shot than the last time on that lane. He's actually now taking in oxygen and breathing. and you know, I mean, we both know what it's like. You've never been on television before, even if you have, and it's been a while. Hard to breathe those first couple of shots.
Very hard to breathe. Yeah, I agree. I think that shot was better than the result. I think he needs to make a smaller move, get that ball a little lighter in the pocket, maybe more in the flush zone instead of high. But I think he was proud of the shot.
9-pin for George. 8-time member of Team Canada, as Randy pointed out top of the broadcast, won the Canadian National Championship in 2000, and then this year, a prior Canadian Bowler of the Year, 2-time National Canadian Youth Champion. He's competed all over the world for Team Canada. He's been in big events, but as he told us before, never live TV and never on the PBA Tour.
And his idol, Dave, Bill Rowe, used to be an exempt player on the Denny's PBA Tour. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. That was George's idol growing up.
Fellow Canadian. Didn't stay for him. And goes in through the nose.
Yeah, and he's left himself a tough spare because of that back pin, or some like to call it the sleeper, but you got the 3, 6, 9, 10 up. And I'm not so sure about this line that he's playing, Norm, only because there's not a lot of room to miss right and not a lot of room to miss left. You miss left, you're throwing it in Doug Kent's hook spot.
Right at second arrow down the lane where that dark spot is you made reference to. If he pulls the ball, he's right on top of that, and we both know it's going to hook high from there. If he sails it wide, he catches that hang area. I'm with you. I don't know that this is the best place for him.
All the boys you need, George.
Sometimes all you need is just time, though.
Got George, an amazing story. 26 years old. Next month will turn 27. Competes as a sophomore for Gordon Vatican, Mark Lewis at Wichita State. Went to a technical school to learn how to repair diesel engines in Canada for a couple of years. Has 2 levels of degree in that vocation. And Coach Vatican said after he was done, hey, you've got 4 years of eligibility. Come to the States and bowl for me. That's exactly what happened. Little help for Doug, but the 7 stands. And his shot not finding the pocket.
Yeah, that was a lot of help because he could have gotten 5 on that shot. And I'm not so sure that Doug knows what's going on. He looks like, again, he's moving in, and normally when you move in, you find a little bit more oil, and that's what Doug's doing. He's moving in, he's creating more angle. That ball never held off and went right through the face.
Has the 7-pin. Doug has told us he's worked a lot on his swing. And Randy, his big message to us yesterday meeting with him was the pace and how he approaches the foul line.
Right, well, and Norm, we see this all the time where, you know, a player tries to change his timing, and the way timing works is your footwork is all predicated on when you get the ball into the swing. Doug was always very late and deliberate of getting his ball into the swing. That made his feet slow. Now he's got that ball into the swing much sooner, makes his feet go faster.
Right, dictates more ball speed with his feet, has less requirement on slinging the ball with his arm.
Same level look at a double wood shot. 2-8 now for Doug Kent to contend with.
Norm, what's going on? You bowled this week. The guy's got that light high thing going on.
Well, they are in the middle of what we call transition. And transition is, we don't know whether it started hooking and we can rely on the hook, or it's about to start hooking and we still have to rely on the hold. They can't rely on either right now, so here we go. 2 strikes and 12 shots.
Total change from the first game. What a switch. Shot. Covers nicely. We're getting back to Doug and his pacing. We asked him, did he watch the tournament in Buffalo, the ESPN replay on tape. He said, I hate watching myself on tape because my pacing always changes. I want to go back to that. I was looking forward as Doug Kent.
Did Doug just say it's about time to go to the full wheel? Is that what he's saying?
Well, I don't think that's a bad option for him.
Well, I think that's what he's going to do.
Full wheel, you know what that is. That's when you move far to the left and just throw it to the right with a bunch of hand.
Good shot. Yeah.
Canadian amateur George Lambert, the 4th, liked that one a lot.
Well, you can tell he's well-trained, too, coming from Wichita State. Gordon Vatican and his crew. George Lambert's got a lot of those Wichita State traditions built into his game. Good balance, good form.
I.e. Patrick Healy.
Yeah, Patrick Healy, Chris Barnes, you know, guys that make shots, guys that try to hit what they're looking at.
Still heads.
Yep.
That program, guys, won 14 national championships, 7 for the men, 7 for the women. Well, they won it last year.
Yeah, you don't go to Wichita State to learn how to drink beer. You go there to learn how to bowl.
High shot. Did not like the ball reaction.
Well, it's a good thing that both of these players can spare very, very well. They've got 3 strikes so far in the game. Both of them right near par.
And it's always nice when you go through the nose and the only thing you have to shoot is a 3-pin.
Well, that's a good point.
Finishes up. 6th frame. He bowls for the Shocker program that has been ranked #1 in the nation with the men 33 times. They've produced 87 All-Americans. 11 players are on tour from Wichita State. That's an amazing tradition. Can he continue that magic here today for the Shockers? Doug Kent stands in the way, and Jack Jurek, the top seed, awaits them both. We are located on the State Fairgrounds, home of the Milwaukee Mile racetrack with 100 years and accelerating of tradition. They race IRL, NASCAR trucks, NASCAR Busch Series, Champ Car Series, all run a race on the oval track right next door. And we're back inside the state's largest exhibit hall, the Expo Center here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's go to the Atomic Edge as we see the score of this second match. Doug Kent by a pin over George Lambert, the 4th. Randy, the subject is our young Canadian.
Yeah, let's take a look at this Shocker from Wichita State. Obviously a great setup. Again, well coached by the university team. Look at this beautiful position at the top of the swing. And again, the great balance, keeping his head steady and his eyes on his target. Pretty good fundamentals there.
The Atomic Edge with George Lambert, the 4th. In a great match here. USBC Masters live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour begins today here in Milwaukee on ESPN. The winner of this event takes home $100,000. All but Lambert the 4th, because he's an amateur, can win a 2-season exemption. Doug Kent back up. Perfect shot.
What do you think, Norm? Is it the big wheel now? Is he going to move in and just strap on it as hard as he can, or is he not there yet?
Not there yet. He has moved left, and he softened his speed up.
Never missed a pocket in the first match, and right now he's 50%, and that's the kind of transition that happens in ball patterns.
And you got to stay up with it. You have to not only move your feet to the left and back to the right occasionally, you have to up and down with your ball speed. Both players fighting that right now.
7th frame, guys. Double here for Kent. Goes for it. Yeah! Some help on number 7.
Yeah, baby! Norm, to me, it looked like he's getting his hand to go around the side a little bit more. He's going to try to create some more hook.
Right, but the big wheel is a couple of games from now, I think. Right now, he's just trying to get that double.
Back to George Lambert, the 4th from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. 7th frame down 11 pins. He competed here last year, finished 191st. I mean, what a turnaround. Tie shot. 3-6 up for George, the sophomore at Wichita State, who's studying business with a concentration in human resources. Says he's learned so much bowling collegiately and has that incredible international experience as a 26-year-old already. 2 silver medals at the Pan Am Games. He has been all over the world. Australia, Argentina, Costa Rica, Thailand, the Netherlands, Cyprus, with Team Canada.
Look at it. And Dave, that's what collegiate bowling will do for you. You got aspirations to come out and be a professional bowler, that's great, but you know what? Go to the university. Do the university thing first. Get a degree. See the world
And get some good coaching.
And use the and do it on the university's dime.
Well, sure.
The experience is invaluable, and when you come out on the big tour, you're ready.
Imagine this. He finished 10th at a recent collegiate event, the Mid-States Collegiate Tournament in Wichita. 10th amongst collegiate bowlers. Now here he is. A chance to win $100,000. With shots like that, he just might do it.
Finally gave that shot a little room to the right, and you can see the results.
Doug Kent, a 13-pin lead. 8th frame, 8-shot critical, goes for the turkey. A chance to go up 23. It hurt now. He's made a big move, and he gets a big ring.
All right, well, look at the adjustments that Doug Kent has made. This is warm-ups. This is prior to going on air. You can see him throwing it right up third. Here's the first match, just around the third arrow. This is where he's at now. Watch this. One game later, he's another arrow left. That's the invisible demon that's on that blade. You can't see it, but it's there.
And it's changing constantly, and so is Doug Kent.
Bowlers at your level, guys, have to constantly adjust. It's all about strategy and anticipation. Which one will adjust the best? Yeah! Another huge strike. 4-bagger for Kent.
Norm, it's almost time for that song. You know which one?
Yeah, the one the Texan guy sings all the time.
Yeah, come on, give me a few bars.
Turn out the lights.
That's the one.
Party's over.
That's the one.
Not yet.
Okay.
Sunday afternoon bowling. We've got our own Danny Don here in the booth. Well, you're an East Texan, right?
I
So
watched
come on.
him a lot of times on Monday night. That's a big shot.
Goes for the double. Nice frame. 60 feet to success.
In any language.
In any country.
You know what, Dave, that last shot that he threw on the left lane, he got it a little bit right. It hooked back. I think that's why he just made as good a shot as he just did there.
George has been on taped TV before collegiate. Never on live television. Never on the Denny's PGA Tour until this moment. His story, extraordinary.
He needs them all. That's simple.
And some help.
Yeah.
His father, who made the 11-hour drive from Hamilton, Ontario, watches this.
Good shot.
Off the mark, all the way from the release and the split.
Now you can sing that song, Norm.
Now you can start singing.
Great show, Noble. For a first-timer on television, it's a tough spot to be in, and it's a tall order.
It is a tall order, and he caught the lanes right when they were in transition.
Yep.
That's a confusing thing. Still 25,000.
Not bad, right? For George Lambert, the fourth with third-place money. Now, because Wichita State is not in the NCAA, he can bowl here and take home the money. He could not have taken the two-season exemption had he won it, which won't happen, but 25,000, American or Canadian, not bad.
Well, 25,000 U.S. would be like 30,000 Canadian, no?
Quite a bit more.
What's the exchange rate? They're getting closer, Dave.
Now Doug Kent will finish up business here on the amateur. Doug Kent's story, incredible. Jack Jurek, Rick Benoit to his left, awaits the winner. Jack is our top seed. He's from Buffalo, New York. Doug Kent from Newark, which is in the Rochester, Buffalo area. Two upstaters are going to go head-to-head for $100 grand here.
Dougie's in that zone right now, Norm. You know what zone I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the one where you get the first double and then you take it off the sheet every time. And yeah, you got to like his reaction, his look, his composure.
So, guys, I'm interested by the adjustment Doug has made because he was fishing for a while there.
Well, he started out, he just followed the lanes, and then he decided to go to a lot more hand and really open it up. And my concern is Jack Jurek likes to go straight. What's he going to do?
Yeah, he's got to fight being in the same trouble that Lambert was in. Right in the middle of the lane, one ball sails, one ball hooks early. Jack's going to have to move in.
One more, Jacob. Talking to his son, Jacob, from home in Canandaigua, New York. 246-190 the final. There's Walter A. Williams Jr. A couple years ago, he won a Masters championship. We flash back to that now. We flash back to 2004, Reno, Nevada. Dream matchup in the finals of the ABC Masters. Chris Barnes against Walter A. Williams Jr. Walter A. had a fabulous start in the title match. The front 8 to put all the pressure on Chris Barnes. And the 7th frame, Barnes left a big split. The 4, 6, 7, and Walter A. had his 6th major championship. His 39th title overall, chasing Earl Anthony's record of 41.
This week.
A big day for Walter A. in Reno, winning the Masters. Earlier today, 2 great bowlers honored by PBA CEO and Commissioner Fred Schreier, presenting the Rookie of the Year to Bill O'Neill from Levittown, Pennsylvania, who led all rookies in points earnings and match play appearances last year. And then Tommy Jones, the Krishenko Player of the Year award winner, who has now won 8 titles over the last 2 years, a tour best 4 titles last season. So as we wait for our championship match here in Milwaukee, we have a chance to honor the great Walter A. Williams Jr., whose incredible career now has 42 titles in. Let's look back at his amazing career to this point. The career for Walter A. Williams Jr. started back in 1982 and had humble beginnings. He won all of $25 his first year on tour. Little did anyone know, one day he would own every major record in tour history, including most tour titles. Last year, he finally tied Earl Anthony's record of 41 at the World Championships in Indianapolis against his longtime rival, Pete Weber. And then just last month, he finally set the record. A win over Weber at the Japan Cup, and number 42 was his. The great Walter A. Williams Jr., a career of incredible accomplishment, which may never be surpassed in PBA history. No question about it. Probably never to be surpassed. And Fred Schreier, the CEO and Commissioner of the PBA, now has a special presentation for Walter A. Fred.
Thanks, Dave. Walter, I know bowling fans have enjoyed watching you these last 24 years, and you've given them tremendous enjoyment with the way you've played and competed, and the accomplishment that you made last month in Japan is a great tribute to your endurance and your talent, your skill. On behalf of the PBA Tour and our title sponsor, Denny's, it's my great pleasure and privilege to present you with a little memento to memorialize your accomplishment. Thanks, Walter.
Thanks, Fred.
Congratulations.
Let's take a look. So Walter A., what does it feel like when someone describes you as the all-time tour title leader?
It's unbelievable. When I first started bowling many years ago, I just enjoyed bowling, knocking those pins down, and got good at it. And then watching the guys on TV, it's like, hey, that's what I want to do, make a living bowling. Fortunately, I was able to bowl well enough and stay out on tour, and then got to be Player of the Year one time, and then again, and managed to just keep bowling well over all these years. I think part of it's my desire to compete, and obviously desire to win. And all these young kids keep pushing me, and I'm still trying out there, trying to knock the pins down more than they do. But I just like to thank the USBC, the PBA, Denny's, my sponsors Dexter, and now Mo Rich, and all my fans out there for supporting all of us, not just me. Thank you. Without you, it wouldn't be here. Thank you.
Congratulations, Walter A. And the best of luck this year. Walter A. Williams Jr. has his 42nd career title. We're coming up on the championship match here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Who will take the 2006 USBC Masters? Will it be Doug Kent or the top seed Jack Jurek from near Buffalo, New York? One bowler takes home $100,000 next. We are nearing the final. of the USBC Masters here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. At the Expo Center near the State Fairgrounds, a packed house in an arena setting. They are set to see Jack Jurek and Doug Kent, two upstate New Yorkers, go head-to-head for the championship. They have Ryan Randy Peterson, Norm Duke watching this stepladder bracket. Doug Kent, an incredible match with Tommy Jones, who was the 4 seed. Went to sudden death roll-off where Kent won at 9-6, and then Doug Kent took the victory over the amateur, George Lambert IV from Canada. Jack Jurek awaits. Let's take a look now at the Geico Championship recap.
In match number 1, Doug Kent took on his buddy Tommy Jones. They ended up tying 248-248. Dougie wins in the roll-off because of that shot right there. In match number 2, Doug Kent takes on George Lambert. This is a brilliant shot in the 7th frame to seal the deal. Doug Kent wins 246-190, setting up a great championship match at the 2006 USBC Masters.
For Jack Jurek and Doug Kent, a 2-season exemption awaits. A major title, Doug has one of those. Jack Jurek has won all of 1 title in his career. And that was back in 1995 in Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the Tums Classic. It's a long time between wins. Jack is the top seed, has been able to sit and watch the others knock each other off. Now Kent and Jurek for the title. Pin.
And Norm, we got 2 guys from New York battling it out. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
You guys have it all wrong. I'm a New York guy.
Yeah.
That's a New York City accent. These guys are from Western New York. Hey, upstaters.
Okay.
Totally different.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dave.
But a good try, though. Like the accent. Doug has his 10-pin. Norm, what's it like trying to work your way up the ladder as Doug Kent has done today?
Well, you know, it's a long day out there is what it is. You have to stay on top of the changing lane condition, and he's done a great job of that. I mean, he's 240 so far. Jack Jurek has got his work cut off for him. There's no doubt.
There's Sue Novoski, long-time girlfriend, fiance of Jack Jurek. They've been together 19 years. Here's his first shot on TV this year. Has a strike from just outside Buffalo. And Sue knows what a big shot that was.
And let's take a look at our ace matchup. Today the ace is Doug Kent. You see all the TV finals, lots more experience, but you know what? Don't count Jack Jurek out. He didn't lead this tournament because he doesn't know how to bowl.
Correct, and Jack's been out here a long time. He knows how to win. The only problem is, at this point, he's probably the most nervous he's ever been.
Tempo looks good. Shot looks good for Jack Jurek. Great start. He has never bowled for this much money in his life. His parents also made the trip, Jerry and Eileen from suburban Buffalo.
And it's just a great shot. And you can see how he's playing the lanes a lot different than Doug, not quite as much angle. But I'll tell you one thing about Jack Jurek. You look up nice guy in the dictionary, there's a picture of Jack.
That's Doug Kent.
On
Gets a 10-pin. He liked that out of his hand. You see that incredible ball reaction, just turning on the backside of the oil.
Yeah, and that's a result of his hand going around the side of the ball at release instead of staying up the back. So that creates all that side roll, and that gets the ball to come back. And Doug doesn't like it when he makes good shots and doesn't strike. Neither do I.
Nor I.
Told you Doug does have the 2 arena titles. 96 Greater Detroit Open and the Empire State Open that Randy, you and I worked that event back in 2002 at Siena College in Loudonville, New York, near Albany. Lane comparison, break it down for us, Norm, left and right. What do you think?
Well, I think they're both about the same. I do know that in practice, leading up to the final match here, a lot of guys do those plastic shots at the 10-pin, practicing their 10-pin spares. That might have carried a little more oil down lane. Might be why Doug Kent is leaving 10 pins at this moment.
One time is right, Doug Kent. Perfect shot. Blitzes the rack there. And he's got his first strike of the championship match.
This was beautiful.
Yeah, he liked it.
For good reason. Perfect shot. Wife Chrissy watching on. Making the trip from New York State for this one. Jack's got plenty of friends in that area too, and look at the start for Jack Jurek, a turkey to begin the championship match. And Norm, you know from waiting last year before you faced Mike Scroggins in this event at US Cellular Arena as the top seed, sometimes it's not easy to wait around and let the other guys battle.
Well, it is a long, long wait, and top seeds are winless in the last 5 step liner finals, and pretty much because of that.
Sorry, buddy, you were too. Hate to bring up that, but you do have the experience in that last year. Look at the start for Jurek.
How is he able to do that, Norm? How's he able to stay that far right of Doug Kent?
Come on. Well, he has moved in, but he's throwing the ball with a softer hand, and it's laying down on him on the back.
He is locked in. Doug Kent may be in some trouble. Front 4 for Jack Jurek. What a start for Jack Jurek in the championship match. The front 4, a perfect game going for him. Head-to-head with Doug Kent. Championship match here. Hit the lane Sunday afternoon. Coverage of the PBA continues here on ESPN. The Motor City Classic, the best bowlers roll for the $180,000 purse. PBA bowling on ESPN at 1 Eastern. For more, log on ESPN.com. The defending champ, Norm, going for another title. Would be your 24th, Norm. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Back to Doug Kent here, facing Jack Jurek, who's won all of 1 title in his lengthy career. What a story we have brewing here. It did, Doug. And that's the strike he needed, perhaps, to get his game going.
Doug says, hey, you know what? He started with a front 4, but I'm not going away.
Son Jacob back home, freshman in high school, watching. Just finished up his golf season as a freshman. And Chrissy, little Natalie, their daughter, 17 months old, rooting on Doug here today. He's down 21.
Oh, push, lock.
Make it 11. And he's right back in the match.
Remember last year when Doug won, and I was on the floor doing the interview, and little Natalie kept grabbing the microphone?
That was classic.
That was hysterical. I'll tell you what. Doug Kent is right back in this, and he's putting out a little notice to Jack Jurek that says, it's game on now, Jack.
The front 5. Not there. The streak is broken, 2 pin. Now, guys, he has a drought of 103 events since his last and only title to now. 11 years, 7 months, 4 days, to be exact. If he wins, would end the 4th longest drought ever. Lee Sykes has the record holder. 14 years between titles. So, Norm, it's been a long time for Jack, but as we talked about, such a nice guy, and he's been patient.
Yeah, and I would imagine that he's thinking it's been long enough. You know, it's his turn. Not to mention, it's a major. It's one certainly worthy of that weight.
Huge Buffalo Sabres fan. His team lost for the first time last night to the Thrashers in a shootout.
Oh,
Look
my
out.
gosh.
Oh, my goodness. That nearly went into the gutter. He's lucky just to have the 1-2-8. What happened, Randy?
This was a pitch out. Way right of his target. He knows it as soon as it leaves his hand. And quite honestly, he's lucky to get 7.
Is he ever? That almost took a skid into the channel. Trying to regain his composure now, and he covers nicely. with 3 pins for the spare. Keep in mind, he has never been in this situation going for a major championship. The top seed, 100,000 on the line.
What the hell is that, Jack?
He's not sure what happened.
You see this guy getting up ready to bowl right now? Like somebody just threw a piece of raw meat in the lion's cage.
No doubt about it. The best always seem to just step up right after an errant shot. Throw a 10 in the pit.
The deck for number 10, and this hungry cat takes a bite.
Right here, Doug Kent doing his best Billy Bob Thornton sling blade imitation.
I sure did give that 10 pin a couple pretty good whacks.
All right. Now he's got to quickly discard that emotion and move on. All of a sudden, he's ahead. Looks for a 5 back. And a 13-pin lead. You better believe it. What a rally, Doug Kent.
Just magnificent. He's looking at the lanes the way he likes to look at him. He's doing what Doug Kent likes to do. A little bit of loft, some hand around the side, creating some room to the right. He's in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, and some pin action, as we saw on the right lane with that 10 pin.
Here's the top seed again. Has a great start with the front 4. Rebounds nicely. Jack has not been on a show since December 18th of last season. Lost to Chris Collins by 9 pins in the semifinals, an event won by Mike Wolf. Over Collins last year near Albany.
Yeah, and Jack needed that shot just to settle him down. I mean, when you throw one as wide as he did, kind of fall out of it the frame before, you have to make the 1-2-8, which is, oh gosh, so nervous trying to make that spare. He just needed something to calm him down. I think he's there now.
Way to go, Jack. 2 great shots back to back.
Double, Randy. That is huge. What a rally for Jack Jurek after 2 straight frames without a strike. The bowling scintillating here.
Jack's trying to disprove the theory of nice guys always finish last.
It's been a long time. Look at that. Since the start of the stepladder format. Looks for a 6-bagger 8 frame. Chance to go up 13. Has it. Wow.
It's on autopilot right now, Norm. He's just dialed in. Forget it.
Yeah, that was his Sunday best there, and 3 or 4 more. Gosh, enough.
I mean, with a strike here in the 9th frame, he could all but lock this up. Now has a chance to shoot 279. The best Jack Jurek can shoot is 266. You think he likes this one? Oh, yeah.
He's one of the best.
Now he can sit back and wait to see what Jack is made of.
This is a guy in Doug Kent who works 16-hour days at his bowling centers in upstate New York. In the offseason.
That's got a hook.
Not enough. Almost a late break on the 2-pin. Doug tells us about a month before the season starts, he gets back into practice and gets going. He's been
gonna need some help.
So busy with his centers. Hasn't had time to dedicate a lot of the practice for the regional competition in the offseason. Now he's close. Nice job by Jurek to pick up the single pin conversion. But he's in a big hole.
Yeah, and Jack said it. He needs some help. 245 if he doubles in the 10th here. That would force Doug Kent to get count and a mark.
This is Jack's first ever arena show. Wasn't sure how he'd react. Off the mark.
Done.
Look out.
Done.
That's it.
Done. Doug Kent wins, sitting on the bench.
Doug Kent has taken the USBC Masters. It'll be his second major. He'll win $100,000 and a 2-season exemption. Dougie is fresh. And the miraculous run and that washout. Great pickup, by the way, on that one.
And a great week for Jack Jurek. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. His girlfriend of 19 years, Sue, is one of the nicest and fun people you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Just good people. And, you know, you always pull for guys like this on the PBA Tour.
Tough for Sue to watch this one, but a pickup on the 1-2-4-10, still $50,000. As Jack told us yesterday, Sue has the ability to redo their kitchen now that he's won the $50,000.
Yeah, she'll help Jack spend that 50 grand.
Tremendous week for him. And little Natalie has made the trip again. Doug Kent's little daughter, 17 months old, with wife Chrissy. They can laugh and breathe out a sigh of relief now because Doug just needs 4 and he'll wrap up his second major.
That's plenty.
Hey, Norm, it looks like the new timing thing's worked out.
Well, I know this. Doug Kent, 248, his lowest game on television today. Great.
All good, baby.
You're awesome.
Natalie doesn't know it yet, but Daddy just won a big chunk of change.
It doesn't matter. God, thanks, baby.
277.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
Good job. Thanks, man. You did too. You too.
That trophy, Doug Kent. You deserve it. A 2-season exemption, $100,000. First place prize goes to Doug Kent from Newark, New York, near Rochester. Upstate New York, time to celebrate. You got a champion in Doug Kent. The Milwaukee man, no doubt about it. Doug Kent from Newark, New York, takes the USBC Masters with a win over Jack Jurek in the finals. Second career major, 8th career title. How does that feel to win a championship today?
Well, I'll tell you what, first of all, it's just an honor to be with the same company of 2-time winners of this tournament. The talent that the champions have that have won this tournament is just phenomenal, and I'm just honored to be in their category. And you know, over the summer, I took a couple months off, and I came back about a month before the season started. And with help from Patrick Allen, I really got my swing a lot quicker, and got my swing in quicker, and got my feet going faster, and it just loosened my swing up so much more, helped me repeat shots, and it's just phenomenal. I never imagined that I would take hold of it this quick, and it would pay off this fast.
Congratulations, Doug. A great finish for Doug Kent. who was able to win his second major championship. His wife, Chrissy, little daughter, Natalie, certainly happy as well. That's $100,000, Natalie. It's a lot. She doesn't know anything about that yet. But Doug Kent, congratulations to you on a tremendous effort. Next week, our Norm Duke will defend his title at the Motor City Classic. 1 o'clock Eastern Time as live coverage continues of the Denny's PBA Tour here on ESPN. So Doug Kent takes a tremendous matchup with Jack Jurek after a sudden death roll-off finish with Tommy Jones, which was thrilling as well. And he takes this event, winning his second major. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Be sure to join us next week. Taylor, Michigan, outside Detroit. Now for the entire crew, Randy Peterson and Norm Duke, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The hot dog eating contest coming up next here on ESPN. Congratulations goes to Doug Kent.